Hey guys, it's Nicole again. We're on day 3. So hopefully you've been following and getting your stretching in. I am very sore today. So this one might be a little more geared toward someone who needs to stretch after doing a workout or the next day. If you've got things going on, you can do it just on your own as well, but I'm going to gear a little more toward recovery because this middle of the week for me, and I had some hard workouts yesterday, so I am very sore in my quads, hamstrings, and glutes, abs as well on the side, and I'm going to be having some fun time with my roller later today. I won't do too much with you on the video with this, but I do have another video in here that you guys can take a look at that's all about foam rolling. I'm just going to take a deep inhale and lift. And exhale, open up, rolling the shoulders. I always like to start like this just because I want to get that fluid moving through my body, getting the blood flowing. Shoulders, roll them out again. Soften the knees, inhale, lift. Exhale, remember to always honor your body and do what feels good for you. Nothing too much out of the realm of what you feel is your level. Reach up, extend out, half fold here. I've got long, straight legs. Half lift. And release, again, half lift, flatten that back, and release. I'm gonna bend my knees real deep, roll round your back, abs drawn in, shoulders down and back. Let's go ahead and roll the neck a little bit. Let's open up the legs a little wider, turn out the feet. Open the feet open with the hips, same angle as your knees. And reverse. I'm going all the way around today, but I'm not forcing my head back, just kind of a small motion with the circles. All right, so things are a little bit more awake now. I want to do a lot of my stretch down on the ground today because I really need it. I need some hip opener stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and start here and work our way down. So we've got our lunge. This is a railroad track position, not balance beam lined up behind each other. Knee over the ankle, shoulders down and back. This is a nice easy lunge. You can have your hands on the hips or on the leg. If you're flexible enough and you want to, you can take it all the way down to the ground. As long as you make sure you keep that knee over the ankle, not over the toe. Okay, we want to protect your knees here. My legs are super sore, like I said, so even this right now is tough for me, and even as a flexible person, you can get really sore and you need to make sure you got recovery in the middle of the week. I'm gonna open up that leg, so I'm gonna walk it out, slightly turn out, open the knee here, safely, hands are still under my shoulders so that I don't have an extended amount of pressure on the hands and wrists. My back leg, I am extending and straightening because I've got that range of motion. You do what works for you. You can drop to the knee right away if you need it. This is helping opening my inner thigh, hips, getting the back of the leg stretched out, and my back leg is stretched out in the back. So I'm gonna drop to my knee here. I'm gonna relax the foot behind me. So that's your back foot. The toe is facing down. And I've got my front leg turned out here slightly, opening from the hip. Nice and slow. Inhale, exhale, release. Again, you wanna make sure that you're warmed up and walk, at least just take a little walk around, make sure your muscles are not totally tight and cold when you start this deep stretch position. I'm gonna take it even a little further, and this is your choice. I'm gonna take it down to my elbows. This might be more of an intermediate advanced position, but I need it today. Slowly make sure you take your deep breath and hang on to that breath. Keep moving it. I'm making sure my knee is not turning in. It's open here. I'm really getting a deep stretch here. If I want to be a little more crazy, I can take my hand on the inside of the leg, just gently opening it up here. I'm getting a deep stretch through my hip flexor back here on that bottom leg, the front of the leg there. If you're a runner and do things like that as well, you're going to be very tight in the hips, so this is a great one for you. Back down, hands under the shoulders, safely coming back up. So I want to put the toes on the back leg. I'm going to put the toe back down onto the ground to lift back up. Walk my foot in back to center carefully. I'm going to bring the back leg in a little bit closer to the front leg so I can get my body up. Gently, we can bend the knees. And then once we're a little closer, square your hips, line them side by side, and extend both legs. This may be a lot for you, so you could come up to here You can do a soft bend in the knee if you want, almost a modified lunge position. I'm trying to get 2 legs straight here so that I can get that deep stretch, pulling here behind the hamstring of the front leg into the glutes. Lower back is level and long, and pulling back through the heel that's on the back leg so I can get the back of that leg as well. Whew. Sore legs. This is definitely a recovery stretch for me and hopefully for you guys too. I'm gonna bend the knees again, bring them a little closer, slowly bring it up and roll my shoulders back, and we'll switch legs. There's no fancy way to get up, just take it slow. So we're gonna go here, a parallel lunge, knee over the ankle. My hips are both facing square. I'm on my railroad tracks. This is where that balance beam would be. We don't wanna go there, we wanna go here. So again, soft bend in the knee is okay. Here's my lunge as I start, shoulders are down and back. Always keep those abs drawn in and lifted through the crown of the head all the way through here, just to get a little extra work and alignment while we're working on this. I'm on my back toe. Some of you guys can put your heel down. I cannot right now. So I'm gonna work it down. That's why we're working on our stretches, right? So I've got it all the way down here, knee over the ankle. My hips are still lined up side by side. If you need help with what that means, we can pull the front leg. We're gonna pull back with the hip and press slightly forward with the back hip so that they can line up side by side. Make sure you're breathing nice and deep, opening out. Let's walk that front foot out. Turn out the knee slightly. Turn out the toe to face the same direction as your knee. Hip, knee, and toe always face the same direction. I'm extending through my back leg a little bit, opening up, really getting through my inner thighs. And gently, I'm gonna drop the back knee, turn that back leg, turn the toe down so it's nice and relaxed. The top of my foot is touching the ground. And I'm going to just let gravity sink me in. I'm opening up the hip flexor on this bottom leg and a lot through the inner thigh here. It may be intense, so make sure you take a deep breath. And exhale nice and slow. And if I want to go into that a little more intermediate advanced position, I can go down onto the forearms here. And even open up here if I choose, gently opening the leg, not forcing and pushing the knee, but just opening here. Getting a deeper stretch through that inner thigh. Back to center. Slowly, I'm getting back onto my back toe so I can lift up, bring it back to center. I'm just walking that leg in and bring the back leg in just a little closer. And I'm gonna lift my hips up. Again, depending on where your level is, you can be up here, you can have a soft bend, or you can be extended, legs are straight, both hips again facing this way. Line them up side by side, both toes face this direction. I feel a lot of stretch behind that front leg and also through the back of my back extended leg, calf. Major hamstring stretching right here. Slowly bend the knees, bring the back foot in a little bit closer. I'm gonna roll my shoulders back and bring it in. Ooh, that felt good. Okay, we're gonna go into a little bit more of an intermediate position called pigeon today. If it's too much for you, the modification we did in our first video, day 1, was on your back, where you'd be crossing into a thread the needle into this position. Okay, so if the pigeon is too much for you, go ahead and go back into video 1 and you can do that section there. Hands here, I'm gonna push back into our downward dog position. If you're not familiar with downward dog, it's what your dog does when they lift their tail and move it around. You're gonna, shoulders are down and back. You wanna think of the length in the neck. I'm gonna push through, make that like triangle position with my body. We don't wanna be here. This is not where we wanna be. We're pulled back. If it's too much for you, you bend a lot. Push that tail back, lengthen your back. For me, I'm gonna lift one leg, doesn't have to be high, and sweep it underneath into pigeon. So pigeon is a different stretch that we see in yoga class. Some people will only be able to go very small with the distance. Some people can move their foot way out here into almost a parallel position. Flex the foot to protect the knee. So if you're familiar with pigeon, work this one. Otherwise, I would say go back onto your back and do that thread the needle from the first video that we tried. I'm gonna go ahead and lift open through my chest, nice and slow in that pigeon position. And this is opening through the hips here, really deep stretch. So take it down, all the way down. And walk it back. Sometimes I say it's an angry pigeon because it hurts. It's a little painful, but it's a good stretch. Bring your, this is gonna be your hand that's closest to the toe. So we're bringing it close to the toe here. Take the opposite hand, we're taking it across, over, reaching away from the knee at the angle. So stretch it out long, extend, use the elbow for support. I'm getting further into the hip that is in front here. This is my hip that I'm working here. Extending, releasing through the lower back. Oh, that feels so good. And back. Okay, I'm gonna push back through downward dog. So my leg goes back, extend, lift option, and the other leg comes down. So you don't have to go all the way up. You can just pull through plank. You can wiggle your way back into a pigeon. You can get in here however you need to get, making sure to flex the front foot to protect the knee, keeping those hips square and lifting and opening through the chest, surrendering to the gravity, pulling our hips down toward the ground. Inhale and exhale. My back foot is relaxed. The top of the foot is facing down. And then I'll walk it out into an extended position. Hands down, lift the chest. Take a breath. I'm gonna bring that hand closest to that foot that's in front here, a little closer to the foot. Walk the opposite hand out and away from where the knee's pointing, at the angle. Extend and drop it down. Make sure you're taking those deep breaths. It's an intense stretch. Release that lower back. And slowly bring it up. Oh, it's my favorite. All right, let's go ahead and bring the legs out and around. As always, I'm gonna flex and point through those feet because my feet need it. We do a lot on our feet. We walk around all day long in crazy shoes sometimes, things that are not supportive, and we forget about the importance of our feet and that care. I've worked through plantar fasciitis before too, and working through my feet, flexing my feet, pointing them, always making sure to take care of them is very important. So let's go ahead and inhale and lift. I want you to flex your feet and keep the legs active today. You can see those muscles pop on the legs. Sit nice and tall on those sit bones. Lift and reach up and out. If you've been doing this for a few days, we should feel like we're getting a little tiny bit better with it. Reach out. I'm not gonna drop over. I'm extending out. Reaching, 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 lengthening the torso, neck is long. And gently drop it over. I'm gonna keep my feet flexed here. Without pulling on the legs, we're just releasing over. And slowly lift. Go ahead and take a cross position here. A modification is just feet out in front. And we'll do a big circle. Inhale. Exhale, walk the hands out. I want you to pull down through the lower back, lengthen the hips down toward the ground behind you. Extend out and release over gently. Walk it back. Big inhale and exhale. One more time, lift the arms. And exhale. Roll the shoulders down and back. Inhale and exhale. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Again, if you need to jump back to another video because something was a little more a little more advanced than you want to get, go for it. And